Dawn Meehan started her blog in 2007 in an attempt to earn a little extra money while staying home with her kids. And today, she is one of the internet's most popular bloggers and was recently named a favorite by the New York Times. In her new book, Because I Said So, and Other Tales from a Less Than Perfect Parent, Dawn offers reassurance and guidance to overworked and overstressed parents. And Dawn, we've already been having a great time over there. One of those moms that says, I said so. That's why, I just love it. But you are like, the famous mommy blogger out there right now. And tell us a little bit about how that got started.
Well, I started my blog, like you said, in 2007. I wanted to share stories about my kids, about parenting, about the crazy things that kids do, and share them in a humorous light to help encourage overworked parents out there. And I started the blog, and I had about, 5 readers a day. My mom checked in, my sister, my best friend. I thought, this isn't working. I need to get some more readers. So I put an auction on eBay for a pack of Pokemon cards that my kids had sneaked into my shopping cart while we were grocery shopping. You can understand how this can happen.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. And instead of, in the description, instead of talking about the cards, I wrote a funny story about shopping with 6 kids and how they actually came into my possession. And this auction just went viral through cyberspace. People forwarded it to their friends and family. It just went like wildfire. I got almost 10,000 emails from people saying, wow, that was so funny, that was great. Did you write anything else? And I said, well, yeah, come see my blog. So I went from about 5 hits a day to 94,000 overnight on my blog.
That's incredible.
That is incredible.
Everybody was calling for you. Charles Gibson, CNN. Yeah. You were all over the place.
Yeah.
And it has really, really grown. Did you ever, in your wildest dream, ever expect to be so famous right now?
Oh, no. No, if someone had said, 2 years ago to me, oh, you're going to be doing television interviews, I would have just laughed and said, oh, why? What did my kids do? That I would be on TV having to explain it.
Now you've got 6 kitties.
Well, yeah, 7 if you count my husband.
7? Okay,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we want to count them right now. Where does all the humor come from with 6 kids? You think you'd be, gray-haired and a nervous wreck.
Well, I figure you either have to laugh or cry. We have those days as parents where we think it might be a good idea to curl up in a fetal position and just rock back and forth at the end of the day. Or we can laugh about the things that went on. I try to see them through my kids' eyes. It makes a difference.
Right. And then I heard that 6 kids, as Stephan mentioned, that you named them after cities.
I did.
Did you do that on purpose?
Well, it didn't start that way. My first one, my son, we named Austin. Just really like the name Austin.
There you go.
And then we had a daughter, and we named her Savannah. Again, just thought it was a pretty name and went with it. And my husband and I, when I got pregnant with the third, we thought, well, we've got city names here. We should probably stick with a theme, So then we had Jackson, and then we had Lexington. And, when you have Austin, Savannah, Jackson, Lexington, you can't go have Bob then. You have to stick with a city theme. So I had a hard time coming up with a name for my 5th. Couldn't think of anything. And despite all the helpful suggestions from our friends and family, like, Tuscaloosa, Chattanooga, Schenectady, that was my dad's favorite was Rancho Cucamonga. But I figured I'd probably screw my kids up enough on my own without giving them the name like Punxsutawney. So we came up with Clayton finally, and then we ran out of cities and went to the boroughs. So the last one is Brooklyn.
We're both from
Brooklyn.
Right. We like that one. Now, what are some of the greatest challenges of not just being a mom, but a mom of 6 kids?
Well, I think it's a toss-up between coming up with 6 names that you and your spouse agree upon and finding enough time to spend with each child. That's always a juggling act.
Right.
How do you handle the housework? Have you found any success secrets to helping motivate your kids to being a part of what it takes to manage a household?
Yeah, that's why I had 6 kids, so I could pass chores on to them, right? That was the whole plan. But yeah, getting them to actually follow through is another story. It's a work in progress, but I've decided I think I should start doing like competitive vacuuming and have the kids like race against each other. Clean up the family room, and the first person to find the remote control before Dad loses his mind wins. Oh! We'll see if that works.
Now, you seem to be a trend, this trend of new moms. I mean, now these moms are not just coffee moms, they're bloggers. They're Twitters, they're doing all this kind of technological stuff. Do you think that that's something that's kind of helped motherhood or hindered it?
I think it's helped it personally. Now, I still get together with my friends in real life and, you know, go out to lunch or take the kids to the park. But especially for, like, I have a lot of military families who read my blog and they move around a lot and maybe don't have those close relationships near them. This is a way for them to connect. Through cyberspace, they can talk to each other on message boards or, you know, comment on blogs. And it's a way that they can feel not so alone because, especially stay-at-home moms, it's a very isolating job, and it's a thankless job. I mean, I don't know about you, but my kids have never come up to me and said, "Mom, that toilet is shining. You did such a great job cleaning the bathroom. Keep it up." You know, it doesn't happen. So it's nice to talk to other moms and know that you're not alone.
Right. How do you discipline 6 kids? Because I have enough trouble with my 3. But what techniques have you learned with disciplining them?
You know, I've learned that all 6 of my kids are very different personalities, and what works for one doesn't necessarily work for the other. So I have to be creative in my discipline and keep the child in mind. I try to set down the rules for the things that are important to me and apply natural consequences whenever necessary, logical consequences. If they throw a fit in the store, we leave the store.
I thought you were going to say we leave them in the store.
Well, you know, yeah.
That's my approach.
That's crossed my mind a few times, but, you know, logical consequences. And then I tailor, like for my oldest son, I could take away video games from him and that would be bad.
Yeah.
If I took them away from my daughter, she couldn't care less because she doesn't really play them. So I have to find their Achilles heel.
In kind of the economic downturn that we've experienced in the last year, any tips for parents today that, you know, maybe looking up towards their summer vacation or making ends meet, you know, that may have a larger family?
Oh, sure. Someone was asking me the other day if the economy had really affected us. I said, well, we didn't go out to eat a whole lot to begin with, very rarely. We don't go to the movies, really. You know, so it hasn't affected us. But for a family night, play games, rent a movie, make your popcorn instead of going out to the movies. For vacation, I hate to say camping and vacation in the same sentence because camping is really not a vacation, but that is what we do because it's inexpensive. A family of 8, you know, we'd need 2 hotel rooms, airfare for 8.
Yeah, forget it.
So we'll go camping. And the nice thing about that is you're away from TV and you're away from work and school and all the distractions and life that gets in the way. And you have time to just talk and do free things like bike rides and hiking and swimming.
Right. Now, Dawn, the name of your book is Because I Said So, and Other Tales from a Less Than Perfect Parent. Some very, very funny stories in here. But do you think that part of the stress and the anxiety about being a parent is trying to be a perfect parent, which doesn't exist?
Absolutely. We all have that model of the perfect parent, and when something goes wrong, oh, I forgot to send in the permission slip with, you know, my son, or oh, I forgot my daughter had a brownie meeting today, we completely forgot it, and then you feel like, worst mother of the year right here, give me the trophy. So it's hard living up to that, and you know, I say there's one perfect parent, and it's none of us.
That's right.
So relax, let some of the little things go. You know, it's a juggling act, and sometimes you're going to drop a ball. That's okay. Just don't drop the same one week after week.
Right.
Yeah. And what about faith? How does faith impact and play a part in what you do every day as mom?
Well, just as God forgives us when we make mistakes, I mean, I think I can see God saying sometimes, I told you 500 times. Haven't I told you 500 times? Why do you keep doing that? And, you know, he forgives us and says, it's all right. And we do the same with our kids. We try to teach them. We try to show them how to make wise choices. And they're going to screw up. It's okay. You forgive them. You move on.
That's right. So, and finally, for parents that are out there that do feel very stressed out and very anxious about parenting, what words of advice would you have for them today?
When your little one turns about 1 and they start to stand up and walk, push them back down. That's my advice because it makes things a lot easier when they can't walk.
It's a critical moment right there, huh?
No, honestly, I think maintain a sense of humor. Enjoy your kids because the time flies by,
Yes,
and just let the little things slide. Ask yourself, is it going to matter in 5 years? A lot of things don't.
True. That's so true. I know Stephanie and I took our kids to college this year, and you're right,
Yeah.
the time goes by, and you
Goes
really
so
want
fast.
to enjoy them. Enjoy them in a whole lot of grace.
Yeah.
Dawn, thank you so much for coming and being with us. Again, the name of the book is Because I Said So. If you'd like to connect with Dawn, you can visit us at harvest-tv.com. Click on Show Info in the menu bar, and you'll find an easy way to link to her website. Stay with us. We'll be right back.